little bit of backstory, and then I'll tell you why it was such an unmitigated disaster. So I have been selling on Amazon for 6 years, and my goal for this year, so 2018, 2019, is $5 million US dollars in sales. I'm currently selling 40 products on Amazon in 8 different marketplaces. So the USA, Australia, of course, the UK, France, Germany, Canada, Spain, India. And next year, so 2019, in September, I'm going to Japan for 2 months to go and figure out how to sell in Japan. And when I started selling on Amazon, I had been one of the top 100 affiliate marketers in the world. In a week, it was not uncommon for me to make 50,000 quid in a week as an affiliate marketer. I had retired in my 30s to the south of France, just outside of Monaco. So why am I telling you that? Well, and I should also mention as well that I had just sold a business where we got that business for a product. It was a product, what we sold as a superfood powder for kids called Kids 5 a Day. We got that particular product to 32,000. Now get your calculators out because this has been a bit crazy for you. 32,000 repeat customers a month at 29 quid a pop. So if you do your math, you see it was a pretty freaking crazy business. And on the back of that business, we'd just taken a publicly listed company called Groupon into Spain. On the back of that business, we approached them. We said, hey, look, you're one of our main marketing strategists for new customers. Can we help you get into Spain because we want to expand there? So I thought at that time that literally my shit did not stink. I thought I was the boss hog of online marketing and absolute freaking genius. So, just to give you the context. So, it was with the abundance of ego that I then went onto Amazon. I remember the only course you could do back then was a course called The Amazing Selling Machine, ASM, which was back then 4,000 US dollars. And I thought it's freaking crazy to spend, and I still do actually think this, it's nuts to spend $4,000 to learn this information. I genuinely think that's crazy, and I genuinely think that folks who charge that should be shot. And that's because as an entrepreneur, that money should be invested in stock for your store. So anybody charging $4,000 for an eBay business or for an Amazon business, I just think it's ludicrous. So I went onto Amazon and put my product up and thought I was just going to roll around in money. I really, really did. And it failed miserably. Absolutely. It was an unmitigated disaster. And it was rather humbling, let me tell you, which was actually a really good thing because I was just full of ego back then. So why did it fail? Well, two very, very big reasons, I think, is the two biggest ones, okay? So the first one is something that I talk about heaps with you guys, which is product differentiation. So I had put up a product onto Amazon that in retrospect was just another Me Too product. I had followed advice that was general advice, and I still see people teaching it now. Go to the bestsellers list and just copy a listing and just sell the bestsellers, all right? I still see people teaching that now. And so I did all that and put my money into it, and it was a freaking failure. So I didn't differentiate my product at all. I didn't think about my marketplace at all. I just put something up and thought it was going to work. And of course, what happened was I was not only competing with other people in the States, but also competing with Chinese sellers who do exactly the same thing. But their advantage is price. So they can crucify you on price. So if the only thing you've got going for your business is price, you are screwed. You're screwed. And so that's why I spend so much time now teaching you all about product differentiation, because it's so important and it gives you such a unique advantage. So that was the first thing that I did really, really wrong. The second thing I did really, really wrong was SEO. I really didn't understand the Amazon platform as far as SEO was concerned back then. And I didn't really understand how Amazon works in terms of ranking products. And so again, I just kind of put it up there, and I was following conventional wisdom, which, by the way, I still see taught now, which is just incredible to me. But I was following conventional wisdom about listing your product and how to do it according to conventional wisdom. If you've ever seen any other courses and compared it with mine, you'll know that the way we do things is very, very differently. So that's another reason why it really, really failed. And the big turning point was actually an Indian guy. And what happened was I had Raw Local, and we were doing work with a company based in India who were doing some work for us, and I was talking to the guy who was doing this work, and he was doing work on a website in England called Marks and Spencer's. You may have heard of Marks and Spencer's, M&S. It was huge back then. So he was doing work on their website, and he happened to tell me that Amazon, through one of their subsidiary companies called A9, so let's just get Amazon A9 up. Oops. I think it's a9.com. Through one of their subsidiary companies called A9, they ran the search engine for Marks and Spencer's. So if you went to Marks and Spencer's and typed anything in, then it was based on the A9 search engine, which is exactly the same as what Amazon uses, okay? So I said to him, and this is where it gets a little bit naughty, but please don't judge me too harshly. I said to him, "Oh, that's interesting. Do you have the source code that I could look at for the Marks and Spencer's algorithm?" Now, really, of course, what I wanted was the source code, the A9 source code, because I knew that that would give me the Amazon source code, all right? And he'd already said they're one of the same. So I asked him if I could have the source code for the Marks and Spencer website, and he said to me, and this is where it gets naughty, please don't judge me, I really shouldn't give it to you, Neil. That's Marks and Spencer's information. And I said to him, well, Damesh, we've got a very, very big job coming up, which is probably worth about 20,000 quid. Maybe you could help me out with that job. And he understood what I was really saying, and I ended up getting the A9 source code, which is, and I also got something else as well, which is called the A9 Developers Manual. So I basically kind of bribed him to give it to me, which is very, very naughty. Again, don't judge me too harshly. And so I got all of the source code for A9. Now, once I got all that, we spent months breaking that shit apart, looking at exactly how to rank stuff, and then everything changed. Everything changed on Amazon for us, and it became a whole new platform for us. It really, truly did. We fundamentally knew exactly how to rank products. So that's my little failure or massive ego to complete humiliation and failure, and then to Amazon's success story, Rohan. So I haven't had the opportunity to talk about that, so that's super cool that you give me the opportunity to talk about that. A9 as an algorithm is utterly, utterly crazy, and I detail that whole thing in my, if you want to kind of go and see that detailed out, that story detailed out, AmazonSEO.com, go to Amazon SEO, AmazonSEO.com.au, AmazonSEO.com.au. There you go, Amazon.com.seo.com.au. So that's kind of detailed out, that whole thing there. I kind of detail that out there. So That's why we do that. So if you want to read that story, it's a super cool story about how we actually figured out SEO on Amazon so well, and how we got a crazy advantage on Amazon because of that. It's a super cool story if you want to go and read more about that. But thanks for the question, Rohan. I do appreciate that. Super cool question. It's cool to get me to be able to talk about that as well. So it's not something I generally speaking get to talk about unless I'm getting drunk with somebody, and then I'll tell you loads of naughty stuff. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.